So the two pieces of pipe that I were waiting for, which would add another 48 inches of length, came a day early. So thank you so much for that, Cubic Mini Wood Stove people. You did great there. You expedited that delivery, and it couldn't have come too early, as you can see by this footage here. The snow and the weather came in instantaneously. So this fire is really cranking now. Gonna make some tea. Keeps a little humidification going in here too as well. I'm hoping this old little army stainless steel cup doesn't tarnish too much and it can actually hold the heat. I'm sure it can. And I'm not sure this is where you post this thing, because there's a stainless steel flue here that I don't think that, well, I know it won't stay on there. So we're right above the burn, we're right at that optimum burn level. But again, I gotta figure out if that's even an accurate place to be gauging the temperature. You can see the coals are really going well in there. Fan's pumping a lot of warm air throughout the cabin. I mean, it's really working. So we still have 25 degrees outside, which is up vastly from earlier this morning. And I'm looking at the thermometer, and inside it's about 55 degrees. So, you know, we're not going to have a sauna in here, but we're definitely warm enough to be comfortable. Let's put it that way. I do have a sweater on. Well, as promised, before I left Idaho and went back home, I was going to review give my final thoughts on the Cubic Mini Grizzly, and I'll put the links to the stove and this fan, pretty good little fan too, and as well in the description. But the impressions are initially really good. I mean, for someone like me, who's not a do-it-yourself guy, I am a do-it-yourself guy. I'm a wannabe, let's put it that way. But I'm not a pro by any stretch of the imagination. I shouldn't be using my hands. So these are little mini tools. By the way, I would definitely recommend those tools. They fit really nice. But the stove has, let me set the scene here. We've got a 200 square foot footprint. I've got about 160 foot of loft up there, 9 feet over there, 7 feet over there, with some barn pitched roofs. And all the reviews I saw when I was deciding to hook up my normal stove, which is a typical 3 foot by 4 foot base with all the stuff you need to put around it because of the amount of heat it will put out, to insulate and protect and to reflect heat. I decided to go with this because, well, as you can see, I built staircases to go to one loft that I would not have access to if the other fireplace was out to here, and you know, you're burning your thighs. And behind the bed I have all this storage. I'm going to make a walk-in closet eventually over there, and that created some more space because this thing's only 12 by 11 or 12 by 12. It's really small. But that leads me to my only con, I think, that I have of this thing is just I was kind of hoping this would be a primary source of heat, but this sucker will burn through so much wood. If you're not watching it every hour and a half, 2 hours, it'll burn out. So you need a healthy supply of wood on hand, and you need probably stagger the sizes so that you have your kindling. I mean, you can do it any way you want, but the kindling to get the thing going and get it warm, which is going to really take almost like splinter type pieces of wood and dry, and then you start it, and then once you get it cooking, you can go to like some of the mid-size logs. That would be a log for that thing. But ultimately, what I'm finding is once you get the coals going like they are now, you can start jamming some pieces like this in. So like last night, it was about 8 or 9 degrees outside, and we had it about 55 to 60 degrees in here, very comfortable. But it took a while to get there. I had a guest come over, and he's tried standing by this thing and says, "I'm going home." But I just started it. Kind of a half hour ago. I got back from a walk with my dog, so that's why I'm still kind of covered up here a little bit myself. But I would definitely, and then keep a healthy supply of all three Just make sure that they're clean. There's no bugs in them. You don't need to be leaving and coming back with bugs in your place. But the good thing about cutting little pieces is you can see how clean they are. You can see if there's any bug marks in them. You have a pretty good idea of not waking up some sleeping frozen whatever that decides to have a million babies in your house or cabin. So that would be one suggestion I would make. I made this little pedestal because I just wanted to do something a little different than what I've been seeing all over YouTube with the back silver. It looks very nice. It does a good job. But since I already have this off the wall, and I haven't even put my heat reflector up, but the wall is completely cool. This has been going on for about 40 minutes now. And nothing. Everything's really cool around here. So the design of this is really good. It's you've got a couple dampers. This one at the bottom pushes air through the bottom, back up top, and recirculates it down through some vents on each side. And this one, of course, is a front one that you can open and close. And I like it because just leave it open and close this one when the fire gets hot enough, because then you can just blow through there. And if you got embers and you're trying to start it, and the fire will start up again, versus opening it and getting a mouthful of ash or whatever. Of course, you got to keep the stove clean a lot more than the other one. I'm cleaning it every day, and I'm probably going to use the clean out the flue once about every 4 weeks, 3 weeks, and I would definitely highly recommend keeping that as clean as possible. But they're nice. They're double wall stainless steel 24-inch sections. I've got 3, and then one that goes inside the 5-foot insert that goes through the roof that has the insulation in it. So it's a very easy setup, even though I still messed it up, as you can see from my earlier previous setup. I'm not a pro, like I said. I don't plan to be. I'm not even a good instruction reader. I just start doing things. So that's just on me. But my overall impression is I love it. Will I buy it again? Yep. I would be careful about recommending it for a place like this as a sole heat, though. So what I'm probably going to do is you get some small propane unit in here that you know, through the wall kind of thing, and has an exhaust that goes back out, and it has a little 100-gallon tank type thing out there that I can use as either a primary or secondary heat source. This is the funner of the heat sources. It's definitely the cozier of the ones, and it's been doing great for me. But I'm sleeping on a bed with flannel sheets, an oversheet, and then 2 quilts that are down, and then a summer bag and a few dog blankets over that, and a 120-pound puppy that doesn't likes to curl up, so he'll keep me warm too. So last night we were toasty in here. Out right now it's 0 degrees outside. It's when I woke up it was 35, 36, 37 in here right about then. But I'd stopped stoking the fire at 10:30. I'd probably burn out around midnight, 12:30. I was exhausted and I wasn't going to get up all night and keep it going, so that was okay. And we started up pretty quick this morning. It does take about 35-40 minutes to get feeling good again in here, where you can start shedding some layers. I took my jacket off only a few minutes ago. And what else? Other than it's cute, it could be a negative on some guys, but I think it's kind of cute. It definitely adds some ambiance here. It's actually a nice little feature. When I get this whole pedestal rocked in and made to look like it fits, and I get the heat shield back up, which is going to be that piece there, and I'm going to have it trimmed with this stainless steel so it looks like it fits, and you can create space behind by like putting little shelves for bigger logs that you're going to use later to cut down. And yeah, you can't have enough wood with this thing. And the one thing I'm learning that I'm going to try a little bit more next time is, rather than cut the pieces, you know, like typical little chunks of wood that you'd cut like that. This one's going in next because it looks like I got bugs in it. But is to maybe cut them more in slices. And if I can get some hardwood, like some walnut, black walnut, or oak, or I think if I made some discs like this and then piled the discs like a little pyramid, I think they'll cook from the inside out and be much slower. And I think that you'll get more bang for your buck at nighttime. It's just a guess. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, long story short, I love this thing. These guys are out of Canada, I think Montreal, someplace. They're very kind on the phone. I made a calculation of getting my not measuring the pipe properly because I didn't think that you had to put a 3-inch pipe inside the 5-inch pipe. I figured the exit kit was the exit kit, but that's my mistake. It clearly says it on their website. So they actually rushed me an extra length of pipe so that I wasn't waiting around and freezing my butt off waiting for it. And it did take a week, but it could have took 2 weeks. It could have took longer, depending on what they had in stock and how quickly they wanted to get to it. But I know they got it out the earliest they possibly could, so I'm really thankful to them for that. Other than that, yeah, we're just enjoying our last few days here, and it's much easier dealing with sub-zero temperatures with this guy. Last year I did it without it, and it was miserable, I gotta tell you. So this is a world of difference, so I definitely recommend this guy. So thanks for stopping by. Thank you for watching. If it's something that you enjoyed, please like it. If there's somebody out there you know that is looking for an alternative source that's an unencumbered and smaller version of what most people use, share this. I think they might get a kick out of seeing what's available out there. And if you are interested in different ways to stay off the grid, so to speak, and to be a little bit more self-sufficient, we're talking about implementing a Nature's Head toilet next, and we'll give you the full review on that. It's a complete composting system that does not require a septic system at all, so that's exciting. I'm definitely going to take a deeper dive into solar and other kind of power generating sources as well. And if I find anything I like there, I'll be sure to post that as well. So thanks for coming by and enjoying. And I have to tell you, it's one thing having a little off-grid cabin someplace, especially where the climate can dip and change on a dime, and go play out in that climate to come back into an area that has the bite taken out of the air, and you've got some warmth. I can't tell you how much of an impact that is on our lives. So thanks again for watching.